Philadelphia was directed by Jonathan Demme and stars Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. A man living with AIDS is wrongfully fired by his law firm because of his condition and hires a homophobic lawyer to take on the case. There is no better way in my mind to end the month of June than by reviewing a movie that's named after my hometown city, Philadelphia. Yes, that is partially why I decided to review this movie. But also, I heard a lot of great things. I never saw Philadelphia before I watched it the other day on Netflix. And I'm actually really glad I decided to check it out because it ended up being a great movie and a lot better than I was originally expecting. Usually when there's a movie with a gay character, maybe they have AIDS or there's a court case involved, typically you're able to tell where the story's beats are going to go. But in this movie, that's not always the case. In fact, I would say there's so many great things that bring this movie beyond its cliches that still make this movie one of the better court case movies I've ever seen. One of the most unique things about the movie Philadelphia is that there's more than just one conflict. Yes, we have a conflict between Tom Hanks and these men that fired him at the law firm, but also there's a huge conflict between Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington, considering that Tom Hanks is gay and Denzel Washington is homophobic. That adds so much more value and unpredictability to this movie's story because in every single movie where there's a gay character, all of the characters that are on that character's side are never homophobic, but not in Philadelphia. I feel like I don't have to spend too much time talking about Denzel Washington and Tom Hanks in the films because, like every single movie they've been in, they are once again great in Philadelphia, give some of their best performances of all time. Denzel Washington being this homophobic lawyer really kills it in this movie. You buy into his beliefs, but at the same time, you can see where he's coming from. And of course, the same goes for Tom Hanks. You grow attached to this character. You don't want this guy to lose the case. You want him to get out of this feeling better, not sick, and also getting what he deserves because obviously these guys that fired him are all homophobic too. I also can't recall ever watching a movie where there's a character with AIDS and you can easily tell that their health is continuously declining. In Philadelphia, Tom Hanks goes from looking perfectly normal with a healthy head of hair to somebody that looks frail and extremely sick and skinny. His hair is a lot shorter by the end of this movie. It's gray now. You can tell that he's really sick at the end of this movie. I'd also be lying if I told you I was not a sucker for court case movies. I love them every single time I watch a court case movie. My eyes are just glued to the screen. I absolutely love these kinds of movies. Whether it's To Kill a Mockingbird or the 2017 film Marshall, which focused on Thurgood Marshall and one of his court cases, I just love these courtroom movies for some reason. There's always a ton of tension, a lot of drama, but they also play like a mystery. You're not certain what the true story is. You kind of have to connect the puzzle pieces. How does everything fit together? That's why I love these movies so much because, yes, they are in a way a mystery as well. I want to touch on this film's ending real quick. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens in case you have not seen the film Philadelphia yet, but what I will say is that I tried not tearing up at all during this film's end. And that was really hard because it hit me to the gut. And when an ending can do that to me, make me extremely emotional, then you've succeeded. I think if you can stick the landing, then the movie at the very least is okay. The ending is very important to me. I care so deeply about a film's ending to its story. And in this movie, I think they did it great. And of course, if you've seen a movie like this before, you know exactly what the movie is trying to say. The themes are very obvious, but that does not mean you can't take them away. They are still a good thing. The messages are very important for all of us to follow. Personally, I loved where this movie went in terms of direction. This movie has a ton to offer, not only with its performances, but also its subject matter and its storytelling. There really is a great story here. If you have not seen Philadelphia yet, please go watch it. My issues are relatively small for this film. Some people would say the cliches are their biggest problem, but for me, that's not the case. You always need cliches in a courtroom movie or else it just won't be a courtroom movie. They're always going to be like this, so you can't change up that formula. I think my only bigger problem with the film is Denzel Washington's arc by the end of it, because he's a homophobic lawyer and he says some pretty terrible things. They certainly do not fly in the 90s, and in 2020, heck no, these things would never fly that he says. But by the end of the movie, even though he's homophobic at the beginning, at the end, he never changes. You don't see a significant change in his character. Maybe he's not homophobic anymore, but the movie never makes it obvious. You don't know that for sure. So his arc, I think, could have been stronger. Plus, I am kind of confused why the movie's called Philadelphia. Sure, it takes place in Philadelphia, but the movie is not really at all about Philadelphia. In fact, I kind of forgot the movie did take place in that city halfway through. The movie is mostly about Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington and everything going on with them. So I'm not really sure why they decided to call it Philadelphia. I feel like there could have been a different title that was better to be given to this movie, but I'm not going to complain. At least there's one movie called Philadelphia in this world, because every other movie takes place in all the big cities that aren't Philadelphia. A few nitpicks, but it's a great watch. Definitely one of the best court case movies ever made. I'm giving Philadelphia a 94%. Alright, for those of you who have seen Philadelphia, be sure to let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are of it. It's about to leave Netflix. That's where I watched it. It's leaving tomorrow. So go right ahead, watch it right now before it's off there by midnight tonight. As always, if you're new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.